At the time of filming, the Imperial Agents Codex is hot off the press, so we're going to try and make it work with some allied shenanigans, including a knight and some Space Marines versus my Necrons. Hi Sultan from Sultan Plays YouTube channel. You've got many Space Marine armies.
I do.
You've got Death Watch.
I do.
What you doing with your Death Watch now?
I'm working it out.
So today we're going to be doing some Xenos hunting. You've got a narrative behind this list. Talk to me, Sultan, you're my only hope.
So,
yes.
I really like the assigned agents rule.
Okay.
It's already existed, but they've just refined it slightly with certain units.
Yes.
And the ability to stick Death Watch in any Imperial army makes me happy. So I started with that and thought, let's bring a kill team with the Xenos hunting Inquisitor in a Corvus.
Right.
Cool. That's a lot of points already.
Okay.
And then I thought, what Space Marine chapter do I own that hates aliens the most? Now, specifically, they hate orcs, but we're going to look over that today. It's Crimson Fists.
Right.
So I brought Pedro with some First Company lads and some anti-tank and some Legends choices to come along and fight some aliens. He's called for help. The Inquisitor says, you're a good lad. I'll bring some Death Watch. And because I like you that much, I'll bring a knight.
And an assassin.
The assassin, I feel like he wasn't asked for. He's just about.
One good thing to come out of the book is Vindicator's got a buff.
Yes.
They can now snipe out lone operatives, and once per battle they do automatic crit hits. So you
+1 to wound and devastating.
And devastating
battle,
wounds, which means ignore saves, ignore invuln. He's got a dead shot ability. You can just snipe out a character dead. D3 +3 damage.
That
dead.
once per battle thing just says when you shoot a target, so it's not even locked to characters. If he desperately needs to take off the final wound of a tank, he can do that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he's come along. 2 characters, 2 retinue units, an Imperial Knight of Doom.
Yes.
Talk about the Knight.
What do you want to know about the Knight?
It's glorious. See, this is one of those. It's the Acheron, isn't it?
Yeah, the flamer one.
Yeah, it's a weird one, this one, because it's got anti-infantry weaponry on the guns, the
Yes.
giant flamer and the twin heavy bolter in its fist.
Yeah.
So it's all anti-infantry for shooting, but it's all anti-tank for punching.
Yeah, the chainsaw does big damage.
Yeah, it's like he wants to wreck open fortifications and vehicles and then flame everything on the inside.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it there. I think he breaks through bunkers and things, and he's leggy enough to step over them. Just to call it out, that I did a half Sisters, half Salamanders base.
Yes.
Because this guy's meant to be allied with every single one of my Imperial armies, which when Imperial Agents started to drop, I got very excited about. So you might notice, just down here, he's been friends with the Salamanders. He's been friends with the bit of lava, but he's got a Salamander's icon there. He's been friends with the Black Templars. He's friends with the Sisters, and because the Blood Angels just got announced as I was painting him, he's also a friend of the Blood Angels.
Okay.
And he'll get a little Imperial Fist symbol after today.
So the action that he's seen action with, you're given the symbols on. It's glorious, and there's on your YouTube channel you can see how you painted it.
Yeah.
You left the dark car on the inside.
I painted the little man.
Who does that?
Not me, apparently, now.
Brilliant. Would you like to talk us through the rest of your army? Is Pedro Cantor the warlord, or are you passing it over to the Inquisitor?
He is the warlord. He's the tactical commander on the ground.
Right.
And the Inquisitor, being a clever woman, has gone, you stay in control. I'm going to go where you need me most.
Okay.
So, he's with some Stern Guard.
Yes.
He does some things. Basically, Imperial Fists get better as they... Crimson Fists get better as they start to die.
Okay.
So he buffs the squad like that.
Yep.
The whole Space Marine contingent of the army gets heavy.
Okay.
So that's their thing.
We just check the things. It's the Anvil Siege Force, so your whole army gets heavy, and if it's already got heavy and stays still, you get +1 to wound as well.
Yeah, which is good, because like Stern Guard already have heavy.
Right.
So yeah, Stern Guard are there. Oath of Moment is still a thing for this army.
Yes.
We've got an Ancient in Terminator armour.
Right.
What he does is he gives an extra OC to the unit he's with, and then I think it's +1 to hit and wound as they go below below full strength and half strength.
Okay,
he's going with a Relic Terminator squad.
Relic Terminator
which
squad.
is just a more expensive Terminator squad that's slightly worse.
Okay.
So they do what they do. Got plasma charges, some lightning claws, and a Reaper autocannon.
Yes.
They'll be fun. He's got Stoic Defender because points, which basically gives him a Feel No Pain 6+, and if his unit ever becomes Battle Shock, they just halve their OC, so they go back down to 1 instead of 2. That's cool. Repulsor Executioner for anti-tank with the big gun of doom.
Can Cantor and his squad fit in there as well?
Technically, yes. Yeah, I don't know if they will, but they can.
Okay.
We've got a Gladiator Lancer,
Yeah.
which is the best Gladiator variant, even though I prefer the multi-melters.
And you've got some heavy weapons on there as well.
Heavy, yeah. Okay. Lots going on. We've got a Relic Contemptor Dreadnought, who's the one who I always feel like I'm briefing this. It's never once happened. On a 2-up, he'll get back up after he dies.
Yeah.
Which feels very Crimson Fist.
Yeah.
He's got twin Volkite.
Yeah.
Quad Volkite, 2 twin Volkite, and a missile launcher.
Yeah, it just continues to burn. Volkite being stable plasma technology.
Yes.
I love what you've done with this list, by the way, as well as the Knights and the Imperial Assassins. You're really breaking out the chocolate box with, Relic Contender and Legends over here and things like that. It's like, look what you can do if you're like, say, screw you, Games Workshop, I'm bringing my toys.
Thanks for still making the rules for them, Games Workshop.
Then across here, a squad of kill team. Now against Xenos, they re-roll all the hits all the time.
Yeah, so normally they re-roll ones, which is cool, but they re-roll all hits, and the Inquisitor that's with them gives them +1 to hit against anything, and they've worded this strangely, but anything that does not have the Imperium or Chaos keywords.
Yeah.
Which basically means if you have the Xenos keyword, I shoot you, yeah.
So +1 to hit against my army Xenos, so they'll have +1 to hit and re-rolling hits against Xenos.
Yes.
And they're nasty frag cannons, heavy. The heavy Thunderhammers are actually damage 3. Why aren't all Thunderhammers damage 3? But at least they're still damage 3, and they're going to be rocking a Corvus Blackstar.
Yes. You can bring... The loadouts for these squads have changed slightly, but if you're bringing a big 10-person squad, you can bring 2 frag cannons, 2 Infernus Heavy Bolters, 4 Thunderhammers.
Wow.
I've only got 2 here.
Okay.
Black Shield weapons on 2 of your lads, but I've got 1 Black Shield. Remember him?
Yeah, I remember him from that. Yeah, he
Broken.
just would not die.
He would not die. He might this time. And then we've got some regular lads back here. The Sergeant has a shotgun because someone, I think he's called Winters, told me that Sergeants have to have
Sergeants have shotguns. That's how it works. And they chomp on cigars and they have their helmets off and stuff like that. Okay, so there's a big stompy Knight of Doom coming forward. There's definitely a bit of punching here. There's definitely a bit of long-range anti-tank. The only problem with this army that I can see is it's so elite.
Board control.
So niche. Board control and actually scoring secondaries. You want all of these things doing all of the killing all of the time.
That's right.
And I've brought a horde. Let's check out the Necrons. So this is bang on 2,000 points worth of Necrons. I'm running the Awakened Dynasty because it's a nice mixed list and we're playing for fun today. We're playing for funsies and we want to see what the Imperial Agents can do when they have to fight lots and lots of filthy Xenos. And I've got 60 infantry running around all over the place. 2 units of Immortals with Plasmancers, and Plasmancers give them critical hits on 5s instead of 6s. Those are Gauss and they get lethal. 2 units of 20 warriors with chronomancers, and because they've got chronomancers in there, they're -1 to hit all the time. The chronomancers are blending time together, and they can move, shoot, move. And because I have points left over, the crabby chronomancer down there has got the enhancement, which gives him a 4-up feel no pain. It's just points, just chucked it in there. Got a couple of units, 1 unit of Scarabs rocking around. 1 unit of heavy destroyers with the anti-tank gun, and 3 separate units of destroyers, which is my only nod to sort of tournament play in this list whatsoever. Having 3 separate units can give you up points if there's like no prisoners or those secondaries pop up, but they're very useful for zipping off and doing actions here or there. Who cares if 1 destroyer is doing an action somewhere at some point? So 3 individual units of destroyers. 3 annihilation barges, because these are the last things I painted and I really like them. And
they're shiny.
And then I was like, where's my anti-tank apart from them? So Doomsday, Arc, big, overcosted, on his own, priority target. It would be normally priority target number 1. But I've brought along the big, the nasty, the Tesseract Vault. This is the reason why I started collecting Necrons. When I saw this in flesh for the first time up at Games Workshop Warhammer World, I was like, I want one. And then a year later, 10,000 points of Necrons. This thing, you brought along a big chunky Titanic thing.
Yeah.
So I brought along a big chunky Titanic thing.
I will take the blame. If this murders half my army, I asked you to take it because I also love it.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to take the consequences.
Interestingly, every time I fielded it, it's died into water. So we'll see.
I'm going to be trying to do that,
yeah. The other interesting thing about it is it's also got a precision shot. You know your Vindicare sight sniper can snipe out some of my characters.
Yeah.
It's got a precision shot thing, a 24-inch range called Times Arrow. Because what happens is that caged Catan on the inside, he points at an enemy. He can do 2 Catan powers, and one of them can be pointing at one of your characters and make them age 1,000,000 years in a day and just turn them to dust.
Ouchie.
Again, something I've never managed to pull off, which means that in this battle report, I'm going to pull it off 3 times out of 3, probably. So it's got a 4-up invulnerable save and lots of anti-infantry shot, and it's big, It's titanic. It's going to be hard to take down. But yeah, the Horde, the awakened dynasty of the Shattered Legion, must be stopped. And so the Death Watch and Pedro Cantor are here to drive them back. The Necrons have arisen on this refinery world where precious oil is ka-chunked up from the ground and put in these containers and shipped off. And the battle mat and all the scenery that you see is from urbanmats.com. And we are playing Taken Hold with Fog of War and Dawn of War deployment. Dawn of War deployment, standard deployment, new models, new things, trying out some stuff. Taken Hold is the one where you get 5, 10, 15 for each primary objective that you're on from turn 2. Fog of War, in the first battle round, all the units have the benefit of cover, but you can't use core stratagems. The Crimson Fist and allies deploy on the battle grid, except for the Death Watch. They're screaming down from overhead in a Corvus Black Star, and we have Pedro Cantor locking down the right flank. A huge Knight of Doom locking down the left flank. Below the Knight is another giant walker, though he's feeling slightly inadequate right now. It's the Contemptor Dreadnought. There's the tank.
Same size as a shin.
Exactly. And there's the Assassin down there, and most of your stuff is still off the table. Your Terminators are deep striking in as well.
Yes.
So what was that, 5 drops?
Something like that,
Just 5 drops. I've left a unit of Immortals off the table in Strategic Reserve because I didn't really know where to put them. And I've got 2 heavy destroyers down here looking up that street. And the Doomsday Ark over there looking up this street. And right now he can't see anything. And because I put it down there, that's where Salt put his big nasty knight. So that's going to be scary for him. The 40 warriors are on my home objective for now. The idea is I don't ever want to lose my home objective. So one big swarm of 20 is going to stay there for the whole game while the other unit pushes up the table, and Annihilation barges are spread out across the line. But who is first turn? After you, sir.
Hi.
That's a 4. I've got a 1. It is the Imperial... What do we call your army? Imperial Agents, Armies of the Imperium.
Imperium of Man.
The Imperium of Man, turn 1. The Imperium's objectives in turn 1 are straightforward and clear. Extend their battle lines, hold their home objective and an objective in no man's land. And bring it down, take down one of those big, nasty vehicles. So the knight strides forward into the battle grid to destroy the Xenos threat and has taken the order seriously to extend battle lines. The 2 tanks have stayed absolutely stationary so that they've got +1 to wound because the order has gone out to bring it down. And the Tesseract Vault is the Oath of Moment target. Starting with a big gun, Repulsor Executioner firing a heavy laser destroyer.
Yes, and I'm going to try my first command point to give it sustained hits 1, and it's going to, because it stays still, has go critical on 5s.
Okay.
So I'm fishing for 5s.
Okay.
So we're hitting on 2s.
Yes.
They're both sustained hits.
Okay. That strat is called Battle Drill Recoil, and you get +1 to wound because you stay still, so 2s. And no devastating, fortunately for me, but 3
anyway.
Wounds come through.
-4.
Yes, invulnerable saves. I make 1 of them. 2d6 +4, so 2d6 +8 to this. This is going to sting. That's 20 damage.
It's me.
It's got 4 wounds remaining. You know when I said this dies in turn 1?
Should I be sorry?
No, it's Xenos. Kill the Xenos. Destroy the Xenos. You've got a couple of heavy bolters that can fire out as well. Okay.
So this is sustained hits 1 anyway.
Okay, so
but 5s are critical. Hits on 2s.
Yes, and you got Oath of Moment, so they go all in there. 6s to wound becomes 5s to wound.
Twin linked.
Oh no, they're not heavy weapons though, are they?
They're
so it's
not.
6s to
so
wound.
6s to wound, twin linked.
Yes. Why is a heavy bolter not a heavy weapon? I don't know. So 2-up save because everything's got cover in turn 1. I make the save. Then anti-infantry fire from the Repulsor also bounced into the Tesseract Vault and chipped another wound off of it, putting it down to 3 wounds remaining. And now the Gladiator Lancer wants to polish it off. Lancer Laser Destroyer.
Hits on 2s.
Yes. There's
both.
1. Okay. They both hit.
Yep.
Strength.
Strength 14.
+1 to wound because it's heavy and you stay still.
2s.
They both wound. 4-up and vulnerable saves. How much damage does it do?
D6 +3.
So it's got 3 wounds left. So it's auto dead unless I pass both of these. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
And there's no stratagems? Core stratagems in turn 1.
Fog of War.
It's dead. It's dead. The Tesseract Vault is dead in turn 1. It doesn't detonate, and you bring it down. Now the Tesseract Vault has been taken out. The Vindicare has got a straight shot into my Chronomancer, and he hits onto 2.
Misses.
And misses, great. That's start as you mean to go on. So the Relic Contemptor is going to light up the same unit and burn them with Volkite. Here's the Volkite. Hitting on 4s though, because Chronomancer things.
Still good shooting on his part. Oops.
Yes, it's still 5 hits.
Strength 6 is 3s, twin linked, devastating wounds.
Okay. So here's the wound. Twin linked, which you need. The 6 will auto kill 1. The 2 6s will auto kill 1. And the AP is?
Dash.
Dash. Okay. I have 3 up saves because cover. You burn 3 of them to dust. He's also got a Cyclone Missile Launcher on top, which is 2d6 shots. And then we're adding 4 to that one and 4 to that one because of blast.
It's the same weapon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so just 4. You rolled low, look.
I did.
Force to hit. And you hit 4 times. Force to wound.
Yes. 1 wound.
1 wound.
No AP.
I'm good. Because so much of the Imperial force is off the table, the last thing left to fire is the Knight. And it's going to try and burn away this destroyer here. Starting off with...
Flame Cannon.
Okay.
2d6 auto hits for 8.
Strength 8 Flamer. Wound on 3s. -1 ignore and cover is 4 up saves. And at 2 damage a time, that's 4 wounds off that destroyer. The dead destroyer before you even put the heavy bolter in. And with that destroyer dead, a number of Necrons burning, and the Tesseract Vault sent screaming back to hell, that is the end of Imperium turn 1, and that was a pretty successful turn. Particularly as they've got 6 points for Bring It Down, for destroying that Tesseract Vault, and 5 points for extending their battle lines. So it's 11 points to 0, and I'm already a chunk down. It's fine. It's fine. We're Necrons. We're the Undying Legion. We're the Shattered Dynasty. We'll drive them back in Xenos turn 1. The orders for the Necrons are to secure no man's land, lock down 2 objectives. We can do that. An overwhelming force, kill a unit in range of an objective, such as that giant knight. We can try and do that. Here are the Necrons after the movement phase and a little bit of the shooting phase. I reanimated 2 warriors back into this unit here. And Chronomancers make warriors move, shoot, move. They were eligible to shoot, so they could move, get onto this objective. Destroyer advance forward onto this objective, and that is secure no man's land. As for overwhelming force, well, there's a knight to take down with its 5 up and vulnerable save and many wounds. That is a tough ask. And there's a couple of annihilation barges looking at it, and a destroyer over there. I've moved the annihilation barges right and left because I don't want the knight coming forward and charging my Doomsday Arc in turn 2. This way, the knight's got to go sort of round these targets here. Bit of move blocking on there. But honestly, I don't really want to shoot at the knight. I'd rather shoot at this Lancer down here with my Doomsday Arc, which can see it. And down in this street, all the way over here, I've got another Annihilation Barge and 2 heavy destroyers, which stayed very still. So let's unleash 2 Gauss Destructors straight down the street. Sultan's spending a CP on armor. Of Contempt, trying to keep it alive. I'm hitting on 2s because I stay still. Both of them hit. Winning on 3s because it's a Gauss Destructor. Nice. Now, it would be AP -4, but you get cover in turn 1, plus armor and Contempt. So AP -2.
No.
That's 12 damage. It's dead already. It doesn't blow up, and that is Bring It Down. Not Bring It Down, kill something in range of an objective marker. That's the one. The destroyer can't shoot the thing because he advanced. They can't see the thing. We've got this annihilation barge. He can sort of tickle your repulsor executioner. The Gauss cannon's out of range, but the twin Tesla destructor is in range. And it hits on 3s and 6s are sustained hits 2. Strength 8, I need 5s to wound. It is a tank, but it is twin linked. And in the end, I get 5 wounds, but it's all AP dash. 5 3-up saves.
I'm good. No
wounds caused whatsoever. Okay, so these are out. So over here, I guess, we're shooting at a knight. We'll shoot at a knight. Let's start off with a Gauss cannon on this annihilation. We're doing both together. We'll fire both Gauss cannons from both annihilation barges. Everything firing at your knight. Hitting on 3s. 6s are lethal. Wounding on 6s. There's 2 wounds. 2 4-up saves. And it's fine. Right, let's do all the twin Tesla destructors. Yep, so firing both of the barges together. 6s, sustained hits 2. Need 5s to wound a knight, but it's Tesla. It's twin linked. 2 damage a time. That's 6 wounds off. And then I remember they have a rule, the arcing rule. So on 5s, no 5s, it would have done extra mortal wounds to you. And I forgot to do it on your tank over there. On a 5, no, the electricity doesn't arc anywhere. Those knights start on 25 wounds. It's on 19 remaining. And let's give it a straight shot with the nasty Doomsday Cannon. And this is D6 plus 1 shots. Nice. For 4 shots. And I stayed still. So he hits on 2s. I hit 4 times.
Is it devastating?
It's strength 18. And yeah, because I stayed still, it is devastating. Nice. So 3s to wound. No devastating wounds. Each does 4 damage. You need to make 3 5-up and vulnerable saves.
Make 2.
Wow.
And it's 4 damage.
4 damage.
I'm down to 15 remaining.
I fired the little tickly guns in from the Doomsday Arc. It did nothing. And finally, we're on to this destroyer. It's the last thing that can actually shoot it. I was really looking for 6s because of crits. It doesn't do anything. That's the end of my shooting phase. I killed the tank. I get 3 points for overwhelming force and 5 points for securing no man's land, which makes it 8 points to 11. But curiously, because I blew up that tank, your Vindicare is too far away from
He's
them.
going to have to do that next turn, yeah.
You have to move a little bit. The only points you're going to get for primaries in turn 2 is the 5 points that the knight gives you here.
Yes.
But there are some Terminators that can deep strike in. There's a Corvus Blackstar that is going to enter play, loaded up with kill teams, and it's an elite force. Game. It's elite force. It's gone to turn 2.
Hello.
So, and tell the people what you just bought on your phone. You were chatting away in the background.
I've just bought the Ordo Hereticus box, and I was thinking, it's not because I'm going to run an Ordo Hereticus army, but I want the Arbites.
Yes.
And I want the Inquisitor Agents.
Yes.
And I could always use more Sisters reinforcements.
Yes.
Roadbacks I can take or leave. But everything else in there, I was like, ooh, I added it all up, and it was about £50 saving, including elements discount. So an element, it was like 160 odd quid for all of it.
Yes.
This is me, sounds like I'm shilling out for element.
No. It's good. Yeah. We're playing a game of 40k and you're buying some stuff from Element Games. It gives me the opportunity to shill out, because if you buy any product from Element Games, then don't forget to use, in all my battle reports, there's a code. If you go through the link using the thing, and then you get money off, and use code WIN13. Use the link in the video description. Use code WIN13 for your money off, just like Sultan.
And get double crystals.
Double crystals, which is money. Thanks, Sultan. He wants the RBTs, wants more miniatures, even more. Right, your objectives. Containment, which is you've got to be doing actions on the edges of battle grids, and with such an elite army, you probably don't want to do that.
Negative.
Kill stuff in range of objectives. There's a lone destroyer on his own next to an objective. The forces of the Imperium are ignoring that containment order, but for overwhelming force, Pedro Cantor and his stern guard, but outside of the tank before it moved. And if they kill that destroyer down there, then that'll be overwhelming force. If they kill 2 units in range of objectives, they'll get even more points. So Terminators have deep struck in the middle of the battle grid. Vindicare's shifted across a little bit, so he's now in range of that objective. Mistakes were made. And then we've got a lot of pressure around this side of the table. Interestingly, loads of your army move this turn, so no benefits from the heavy thing.
You don't have to think about it.
You don't have to think about it. But there's a knight here. There's the Contemptor Dreadnought here in range of that objective now. Here's the Corvus Blackstar loaded up with an Inquisitor and a kill team. It's cool at least that Inquisitors can get inside their transports. They have a rule that allows them to do that, which is good.
And they can attach to Death Watch.
Yeah.
I like it.
Who's the Oath of Moment target for this turn?
Doomsday Arc.
Doomsday Arc, the big anti-tank weaponry.
Yes.
You need to tear it down. So we're starting with the Vindicare. You want to pop my character. Are you doing your once per battle critical thing?
No. Save it for when I need it.
Okay.
So he hits on a 3 because he moved and blah, blah, blah.
And Chronomat, yes,
He
that's
hits.
it. That's a hit.
Strength 8 is 2s.
2s to wound, yes.
That's minus something.
Yes. Into the Chronomat, so -3. So I will get my 4-up and vulnerable save.
Nice.
I make my vulnerable save. The shot is deflected from the force field. Moving down the line to the Repulsor Executioner. What are you doing again?
We're firing the big gun down at the Doomsday Arc.
Oath of Moment,
and then
yes.
everything else into them.
Everything else into the Warriors.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So big gun first.
Okay.
Hitting on 3s.
Yes, but re-rolling because of Oath of Moment. And it's strength, what? 18 or something?
Strength 16.
Okay, I think that's 3s to wound. Yeah, 16 versus 9, 3s to wound.
No wounds.
Snake eyes. So no damage caused to the Necrons yet. Now the heavy bolters and all the anti-infantry fire are going to the warriors, but forced to hit them because Chronomancer things.
Yeah.
Only 1 hit.
Wounds on a 3.
Wounds and kills 1. Heavy stubber.
Normal heavy stubber.
2 hits.
Wounds on 4s.
2 wounds. 1 more casualty.
Twin heavy stubber. Hits all the times.
Right.
Wounds on 4s. Twin linked. Hits.
And another casualty. That's 3 casualties so far. There's the Burret gun, the Onslaught Gatling cannon.
We'll do the repulsive defensive array first.
Okay.
Just 10 shots.
10 shots from the defense array.
4s.
That's pretty good shooting from a defensive array. That's all the
It's all
stuff
the
around the
bolters,
turret all
yeah.
firing off in different directions.
It's like random crap go.
Yeah. 3 more wounds.
Yes.
3 more saves to make. I make all of those saves, so only 3 casualties so far. And now,
rocket pod.
okay, there's more guns on it. It's got
shots.
all the guns.
All the guns.
That's 2 shots.
Hits on 4s.
That's 1 hit.
2s.
That's a wound. And that's a failed save. You kill a 4th one.
And then the buzz gun.
Now the buzz gun. Cutting down trees.
12 shots.
12 shots. Onslaught Gatling cannon. 4s to hit.
Good shooting.
5s to wound. 3s to wound, but 6s are devastating.
That's right. No 6s.
Okay. But 5 wounds. And that is 3 more taken out. You nuked 7 in total. I think I'm definitely taking from the front. There's some Terminators right there. Mind you, if I take too far from the front, will I be on that objective? So I've withdrawn as many as I can, but leaving this little fella here because I'm still within 3. But it does make it a 10-inch charge for the Terminators if they want to go running in there. The thing about Terminators is they ignore all modifiers.
Yeah,
so
Fury of the First.
Yeah, so that -1 to hit with my Chronomancer isn't coming into effect.
Yeah, I didn't know that for these ones. 3s to hit then.
Okay. These are the combi bolters, 4s to wound. 4-4-up saves. Take out 3 of them.
Wow.
Plasma Blaster.
3s.
Okay, there's a hit.
And strength 7.
That's a wound.
Not strength 7.
No, not strength 7. It doesn't wound, yeah. Okay.
Reaper autocannon.
Reaper autocannon.
So this is sustained hits 1 and devastated wounds. So
Right.
he hits on 3s.
Okay.
Hits 3 times. And he'll wound on strength 7, 3s.
Just 1 wound.
1 wound.
And I make the
One.
save.
Yeah.
So that was a punishing salvo. The Repulsor and the Terminators have whittled away the big blob in the middle, leaving 8 warriors left with my Chronomancer. Now Pedro Cantor, Chapter Master of the Crimson Fists, is targeting this destroyer. He's got a gun called Dawn's Arrow. He hits on 2s. And he misses 3 times. Brilliant.
Sustained hits 1 though.
Okay, all right. He hits
Strength
twice.
5.
A toughness 6.
So 5s.
1 wound.
-1.
I'm behind a barricade, so I'm okay.
Yep, Stern Guard, Heavy Bolter. Come on now. 4s.
1 hit.
Sustained hits 1.
Okay.
Strength 5 is 5s. No wounds.
Nothing.
Everyone else.
Yep, with the bolt rifles on 3s.
And then 5s. 2 wounds.
2 threat saves because that barricade there, and I take a wound. It's on 2 left, though I don't think he's long for this world if Cantor makes a charge. Mind you, if Cantor does make a charge, him and his Stern Guard are going to get lit up by a lot of stuff on the other side of the barricade. So we're coming back to the warrior squad in the middle getting lit up one more time by the Contemptor Dreadnought with the 8-volt kite on 4s.
Yeah.
2s to wound.
Or 3s to wound, sorry. This is strength 6, I think. Twin linked, doesn't matter.
Okay.
No AP.
You burn another one to crisp.
And then 2d6 plus, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's 9
11,
there.
8, 9. So 2d6 plus
1.
1.
For 6 shots.
Yep. 4s.
Good shooting techs. It's 4 hits as the rockets explode in and amongst the mortal warriors. Wound 3 of them, and 2 of them get taken out. There's only 5 warriors hanging in for their undead life there now, and only 2 units left in the Imperium forces.
Yeah.
Go with the Corvus Blackstar.
Yes.
Firing the missiles and the last cannon into the Doomsday Arc, which is your Oath of Moment target,
And the Hurricane Bolters into this guy.
into the destroyer. Okay.
1 twin las cannon.
1 twin las cannon.
Hits on a 3.
It hits.
Strength 12.
Wounds on a 3.
Wounds.
Wounds.
Minus
4
3.
up and vulnerable save. I make my 4 up and vulnerable save. 2 Storm Strike missile launchers. Both of them hit.
Strength 10.
3's to wound.
1 wound.
One of them wounds. 6 doesn't do anything?
No.
I fail the save. How much damage is a Storm
3.
Strike? Okay, a flat 3 damage. Then the Hurricane Bolt came in, whittled a couple of wounds off of the Destroyer. It's still alive on 1 wound remaining. Now we have the Knight. What are we doing with the Knight?
Flamer into this to try and tickle off some more wounds.
Okay.
And then we're doing the Heavy Bolter into this.
Okay, so what? Shoot one, shoot another, charge the third one.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
So here's the Bolter.
Okay.
On 3s.
Yes.
That's sustained hits.
Okay. 5's to wound.
5's to wound, twin linked.
So.
That's cocked.
There's a wound. There's a wound. -1.
Yeah.
I need a 4 or I'm dead. I'm dead. The Destroyer's dead.
Step 1.
Step 1.
This is step 1. 2d6 auto hits into big guy. 10
auto hits, washing the Doomsday Ark with flame. But it's an anti-infantry weaponry, so you're wounding it on 5s. Ignores cover, so I need 4s. And it's 2 damage a time, Flamer, right? So that is actually 4 damage. Puts the Doomsday Ark all the way down to 7 wounds remaining, and that's the end of your shooting phase. You completely crippled the Necrons in the middle of the battle grid. You've hurt some destroyers, and now you want to charge. If your Knight's going into the thing, he can't fail the charge.
Yep.
But we'll roll 2d6 in a minute to see if you can get there. Do you want to try and make this 10-inch charge in the middle?
Let's.
Terminators are right up the gut.
10.
Here we go.
They're in.
It's an 11. So 11-inch charge puts the Terminators right in the middle. The Knight makes it there, and then you only rolled a 3 with Cantor, which was just enough.
Because the barricade, yes.
To reach my Destroyer.
Yeah.
Then in the fight phase, Cantor one-shotted that Destroyer on 1 wound remaining. Now we're coming down to the Warriors in the middle of the battle grid versus Terminators. One of the fellas in that squad has got some Lightning Claws, which are going to hit on 3s. And everything hit.
Everything hits. Wounds on strength 5, 3s.
3s to wound.
Twin linked.
Brilliant.
Because Lightning Claws.
Okay. 4 6-up saves. Okay, 4 of them are dead. There's 1 left. And the Chronomancer. Power weapon on Sarge.
3s.
Yep. No minuses to hit
3s.
because that's what they do. -2. I should have rolled them separately, but that would have been a fail save anyway. So that kills the last warrior. Is it 1 wound or 2 wounds?
Just 1 damage.
Okay, because he's got the 4-up feel no pain. I paid for the enhancement.
Yes.
He feels the pain. He's on 3 wounds remaining. And then triple power fist to the face.
Yeah. 3s.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, that's really good punching
That is really
checks.
good. 2s.
Yes. 7 4-up and vulnerable save. So he's saying there's a chance. There's not a chance. I only made 1 of them, and each of these. I need to do this twice because of the 4-up feel no pain.
Ooh.
So he's still on, yeah, and then it takes a couple of wounds, and now he's dead.
That was a good first roll, though.
Yeah. You wipe the squad, though. You wipe the squad. Now a Knight versus an Annihilation Barge. Which type of swing are you going for?
We're going to do the big one.
The big one?
Wound on, well, they're both wound on 3s.
Why?
Because one's strength 9.
Yes.
And the other one's strength 14.
And I'm toughness 8.
Yeah.
So they're both wound on 3s.
But you have an invuln as well.
I have an invuln. What's the damage of his big swing?
6 damage for big swing.
Yes.
2 damage for small swing.
It makes sense to go for the smaller swing. It depends on the number of attacks.
12.
12? 12 or 4? Math, I don't know.
I'm going to go for the 12.
Don't listen to me. Hashtag don't listen to
the
Winters.
12. I was going to go for big one, but I'm going to roll 3.
The big one's
4.
cooler.
Yeah, but I'm not listening to you now.
Okay.
3s.
Right, then 3s to wound then. 8 come through. -3, 2 damage. But 4-up and vulnerable saves all round on Annihilation Barge. And 1 minute. That wasn't a good save. It starts with 9 wounds. So you're telling me if I CP reroll this and get a 4, it's alive. So let's do that.
Oh.
It's alive on 1 wound remaining. Didn't help me very much though. He just sort of bumped back into the Knight in close combat. Did no damage. But he's there to block you from killing the Doomsday Ark. And that is the end of Forces of the Imperium. Turn 2. Sowing damage across the line and actually managing to make that charge in the middle of the battle grid. That 11-inch charge in the end, that was definitely a bonus. They're not going to get any points for containment, but they do get 5 points for killing 2 units in range of objectives for overwhelming force. And I'm going to pick up 5 points for being on this objective down here. As we go on to Necrons, turn 2. So it's 13 to 21. I'm 8 points behind. But I can get behind enemy lines quite easily with a unit of scarabs that are sneaking up the edges. Bring it down. Take down that knight. Well, we'll give it a go. So in my movement phase, I've got a little unit of scarabs down here. I managed to advance all the way forward and get behind enemy lines. As for bring it down, well, we're lining up to try and shoot down that big, nasty knight. The Doomsday Ark failed its battle shock test. The Annihilation Barge didn't, and it's fallen back, so it's not going to be shooting or anything. But guns are good. We did some reanimation. We're going to put all the guns that we can into it. The 2 heavy destroyers can see it as well. It's on 15 wounds. You never know. I might be able to take it down. I need to stop you scoring some objectives as well. So we've moved around here with the Immortals and got down and had a really good look. And it turns out 7 of them can see Pedro Cantor's unit. And I moved the Annihilation Barge forward, because if a bunch of them die, then the Annihilation Barge will stop you scoring that objective. Because right now you're on 4 of them, including the Vindicare over there. And I can't shoot the Vindicare over there. So I also need to kill the Terminators as well. I thought about moving the Annihilation Barge, this one, around there to OC you off for that objective so no one scores it, but you were very clever in your fight phase to make sure that the Knight is still in range of the objective, the Dreadnought. You've got an OC of like 13 there right now.
He got big chunky base.
Big chunky base. So I'm not taking that one off of you. It's all about killing as much as possible, killing that Knight. You're strong on this side. I need to make sure we're nice and strong on this side of the battle grid. Fortunately, I kind of know where the flyer's going next turn. It's going to fly, because they fly in a straight line. It's going to end up over here, and you're going to charge the Doomsday Ark, or you're going to charge these. You'll notice that I kept my Immortals off the table.
Save them.
The only place I could think about putting them was right down in my deployment zone here, to shoot through at your Terminators and pour it on. But your Terminators, loads of cover in the way. Your Terminators have had 2-up saves against all of those things. So I didn't really see the point in doing that. Anyway, talking about shooting things, let's fire these Immortals at Pedro Cantor's unit. So I've got 14 shots. I'm hitting on 2s because Awakened Dynasty being led by a dude. And 5s and 6s count as criticals with a Plasmancer. The rest is wounding on 3s, but because you're in range of an objective marker, I'll re-roll that. So all of them, AP -1/+1, because there's a lot of cover in the way. 11, 3-up saves. Each doing 1 damage.
You kill a guy.
Just one guy. Brilliant. 1.5. So the Plasmancer does his Living Lightning, and that's another 2 mortal wounds. And then he fires his Prismatic Lance, which hits on a 3. And
lethal.
Yeah. Then -3, which becomes -2. So 5-up saves, each doing 2 damage.
Just one guy left.
Just one guy left with Cantor. That's nice. Let's fire the Annihilate. Do I? Because I've already sort of stealing that objective off you, because I've got an OC of 3. What's the OC of Sternguard and things? 1?
Yeah.
I'm stealing it off of you. I'm thinking I could put the... Yes, we're going to do the -2 Gauss cannons this way, and then the Tesla array is going to go into them. So Gauss cannons into Terminators.
Get a bit of cover.
I hit once, and I wound once. So -2 becomes -1. And you're fine. And then the twin Tesla Destructor into Cantor's unit. 6s explode twice. These are strength 8.
2s.
They're twin linked. They're AP dash 5. 3-up saves. Unless Cantor's got a separate save, you might have to do it.
2-up save.
Okay, so
These
1
are
at a
2
time.
damage each.
Yes. He's alive, dead. Now it's all on Cantor.
So 2-ups become 4-ups, right?
No, they're all 2-up saves.
Okay.
AP dash. He's
Good.
fine. He's no longer leading a unit, Sultan. What can he do when he leads a unit?
Add 1 to the hit if they're hurt, and add 1 to the wound if they're really hurt.
Okay.
And then he can add 1 to the attacks characteristic. I think he can still do that for himself, but it's not as good if he hasn't got 5 lads with him.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's that objective. You're still on 3 though. I'm not going to get you off of all of them. Where are we? We've got the 2 massive heavy destroyers shooting at your knight. Hitting on 2s. I hit both of the times. Wounding on 3s. That's 2 wounds, -4.
5-ups. Nope.
That is 6 damage a time. That's
Why
12
is that gun better than that gun?
damage. What, better than this gun, the
gun
Doomfire?
that's the size of a building is worse than the gun that's the size of a pylon.
Space Magic, notes on 3 wounds left. And the gun the size of a building does 4 damage.
Yeah.
D6 plus 1 shots. I guess I'm command point and re-rolling that.
It's battle shocked.
Oh yeah, it is.
Finally
it is
does
battle
something.
shocked. Battle shock actually meant something. 2s to hit. I stood still. I don't know if the 6 does anything.
That's when you wound, it will do something.
Yeah, you're right. 3s to wound. A 6 will kill you though, because it's devastating. No devastating. 2 5-up and vulnerable saves. You need to make both of these. You make 1. You can CP re-roll it if you wanted to try and keep them alive.
Because I spent hours on this night.
Yeah. You just need a 5. That's not a 5. The knight is dead and it doesn't deadly demise. It's gone. Sultan and I were just chatting off camera that the Acheron, that knight, is the coolest looking knight, but it's got the worst knight rules.
It doesn't do anything.
Doesn't do very. It's an anti-infantry gun with anti-tank punch. It should be one or the other.
50 point. Yeah. He doesn't really do anything. I love it though.
But he looks cool.
He's
the coolest looking knight.
Yeah.
I like him and the one with the big sword are my favourites looking ones.
I feel like if you pose the one with the lance like running or something, that could be
lance
cool
with the running?
Yeah.
Mine just stood up looking cool. It also occurred to me that I should have moved the Annihilation Barge around there onto that objective as well, because now the knight's dead. OC3, you wouldn't have scored that one. Mistakes were made. Now we're going to pour everything into your Terminators in the middle of the battle grid, and I'm spending a CP because they've been led by a thing, so I can re-roll all hits. It's called Protocol of the Conquering Tyrant. It's AP -1, so Sultan spent a CP for Armour of Contempt, burning all of his CP. So it'd be AP dash essentially. But 3s to hit. I get the full re-roll. That's the most 6s I've ever seen. Ever. And here's the re-roll. Only dropped 3 shots. It's hardly worth spending a CP for. 5s to wound though. The tricky part. That's 22 up saves. He's doing 1 damage. I see some 1s.
You kill. Oh, that was a 1.
That was a 1. What's that one under
1.5.
1.5. Then the Chronomancer fires in with his stave. It's got blast. D6 shots hitting on 3s because leading a unit with the re-roll. Nothing special happens with the 6s though. Strength 5 versus toughness 5. 4s to wound would be -1, but Armour of Contempt is still in effect. So 2 up. Say, oh, there's another 1 dead. I take out 2. I need to keep pouring it on. I've got these 2 Annihilation Barges. I'll fire them both again.
That one fell back.
At the same time. Okay, I've got 1 Annihilation Barge I can fire in because the other one fell back. 3s to hit. That one's lethal. Strength 5. There's wound. -2 becomes -1. It's 2 damage. You're good. Let's do the Twin Tesla Destructor. And no explosions this time. It's strength 8. It's twin linked. They're all AP dash. 3 wounds. You're good.
Mortal wounds on something.
On a 5. That's not a 5. And that's the end of my shooting phase, and I'm certainly not charging a big unit of Terminators in the middle of the table. A move, shoot, move wouldn't help me either, because you've got to stay an inch away, and I can't get in range to OCU off of that objective there. So you are going to pick up your 5, 10, 15 on the primaries, but 4 Terminators, Cantor on his own, this highly elite, highly Xenos killing, needle through a haystack, pinpoint precision, Death Watch with Knights, with Space Marine Army, it's running out of units already.
Yeah.
Mind you only brought 9.
There's like 9 units, and that's with the characters attached, yeah. So I've got 7 left, but that's only because the character's still alive over here.
7 good units. The Vindicator still hasn't done his once per battle thing.
He still hasn't actually done anything.
Oh no,
Let alone his once per battle, he hasn't done anything.
He's fired twice, not killed anything. Yeah. The Corvus Blackstar is going to be zipping forward. I need to add up my points for Bring It Down, because I've got 6 points for that, and I have got behind enemy lines with some Scarabs as we go on to Death Watch and Imperial Allies. Turn 3. So it's 36 to 22 for the Xenos Hunters, and they want to secure no man's land and get behind enemy lines. At the end of the Imperium's movement phase, they've secured no man's land with the Terminators, with the Contempt of Dreadnought. And in the movement phase, we've got Black Star cluster launchers from the Corvus Black Star. We'll do it in a minute. And you're also behind enemy lines with the kill team down there. What's the Oath of Moment targets and what is the plan?
Still this. So, the Death Watch are doing what they've come to do. They're striking right at the heart of the enemy.
Yes.
This is their job. They're going to clear out this, take the home field, and then what can you do?
Okay.
So the Ancient here is willing to give up his long life to take this objective and try and plink a few wounds off over here.
Yep.
Terminators are doing what they do and holding the centre. They're Crimson Fists, they're not moving backwards.
They're standing still.
Cantor doing the exact same thing. He's not in combat, so he will shoot and go into combat.
Right.
And then meanwhile, the Executioner is going to put all its small arms into the Scarabs to try and clear the backfield and hopefully core a Doomsday Ark.
Okay. Core or Doomsday Ark. One
Yes.
shot it, bore it out from the inside. Now, when the Black Star flew over any models, it flew over this one.
Yes.
And it drops cluster munitions on it.
Yes.
You get 6 dice, and on 5s it does mortal wounds.
I'm hoping
it's
for 3
only
5s.
got 3 wounds remaining. And
Oh,
that
that's
is
4.
4 5s. That is a dead Annihilation Barge. The Death Watcher here, raining fire from the skies, destroying units before they even step foot on the battlefield. Now you're going to try and core the Doomsday Ark. We've got the big gun of doom
Yes.
throwing straight down the battle grid.
And I'm spending a command point, again, on those sustained hits and critical hits on 5s.
Because you stayed still, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully the big gun gets it, but it's also for the Scarabs.
Okay.
So we're hitting on 2s with this. Oh.
And they both explode again for those sustained hits. Nice.
2s to wound.
Yep.
+1 to wound.
3 4-up saves. I've got this. I failed 1. I'm going to command point it as well. I've really got this.
Is it still battle shocked?
It's still battle shocked. I can't spend the command point. Brilliant.
D6 +4, I need to roll the max.
It's got 10 wounds remaining.
No, that's 5.
That's a 1. You can command point it. You've got 1 sat over there.
Yeah, I spent my command point on the
Oh,
sustained
yeah.
hits thing, yeah.
So the Doomsday Ark is reeling, but not out of the fight yet. And then all the guns from the repulsor, all the remaining guns, just annihilated that unit of Scarabs. You'd killed like 6 of them. We're on to Cantor.
Yes.
Shoot,
so he's doing
Annihilation
his
Barge.
once per game +1 attacks to everything.
Okay.
It's for the turn.
Okay.
So he hits on 2s.
Yes.
6s don't do anything.
Okay.
Oh, 6s are sustained hits.
Are
I'm
they?
lying to you. Yeah.
6s do things.
6s do things.
Strength 4, toughness 8.
Strength 5.
Strength 5, is it?
Yeah. It's
Nice.
Dawn's Arrow. Just need to check.
Oh yeah, Dawn's Arrow's gun is better than a standard gun. Dawn's Arrows, -1, 2 damage. Take 4 wounds off the Annihilation Barge. It's on 5 remaining. He has a chapter master, he'll probably punch it to death. So Vindicare, Terminators, Corvus and Kill Team, where we're going to next, Owen.
Vindicare is going to try and stop these being -1 to hit.
Okay, are you doing your once per battle thing?
No, I will tell you when I do it.
Okay. 2s to hit.
He
He
hits.
hits this time.
He will wound strength 8 on a 2.
Yes.
He doesn't wound.
Brilliant. Worst sniper ever.
He's the same price as a Stern Guard
First
squad.
day
Yeah.
out of rookie school and he's missing shots and everything.
Yeah.
So we're on to the Corvus Black Star, who's putting las cannons and missiles into the Doomsday Ark. You want it dead.
Yes.
And because the Death Watch are going to go charging into the Warriors, the Hurricane Bolters are going to go into the
Yeah, we're just the rapid
Immortals.
fire of them, so
Okay.
we'll have a go.
Beautiful.
I'll start with the big guns.
Big gun, las cannon.
Hits. Doesn't wound, but it's twin link.
Okay.
Wounds.
It wounds a 4 up. I make the 4 up.
2 missile launchers.
Yes.
Hits.
Both of them hit.
Strength 10 is 3s. 2 wounds. It's 4 ups again.
4 ups again. I fail 1. How much damage?
3.
It's on 2 remaining.
Yes.
It's still alive.
Still alive.
And then you're in rapid fire range over here. Is this 12 shots?
12 shots, twin link.
Drop dice don't count. 3s to hit.
3s. Rerolling because Death Watch.
Yes, and the aliens,
Oh wait, no,
the Xenos.
these no, this doesn't get that.
Surely that's Death Watch keyword.
No, only Death Watch kill teams.
Oh
get
yeah,
that.
that's right. Death
Yeah.
Watch kill teams get
It
that.
used to be the whole Death Watch army.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah.
So it's 5 to wound.
Twin linked.
Twin linked. Right.
Nope.
4 wounds, 4 threat saves.
Hey.
Now we're coming down to the middle where Terminators and the Death Watch kill team have these warriors in a Death Watch and Terminator sandwich. Which one are you going to start with first?
Death Watch with the frag cannons because they're blast. So this is 2d3 each.
Right.
Plus
4 each.
So
This is
2d3 plus 4d3 plus 8. There you go.
Right. That's a lot of shots. It's maths. After all the modifiers, this is forced to hit.
Yeah. Rerolling the hit though. Because we're Death Watch.
That's what they do, yeah. It's a lot of hits.
It is.
Strength 7, -1, 2 damage. So 3s to wound. 6 saves. No cover. You take 6 out. What else you got?
Infernus Heavy Bolter with the Salamander.
Right.
He hits on 4s because of all the modifiers.
Yes.
He re-rolls.
Re-rolling.
He hits once.
Okay.
Strength 5, so 3s. Wounds -1.
I'm okay.
But then he has a flamer attachment for D6 auto hits.
For just 1.
Which wounds.
And I'm still okay. Of course, the salamander has a flamer. I love it. Now there's a bunch of bolt guns.
2s back to 3s.
Well, re-roll it. Yes.
It's only the heavy weapons that hit on 4. And then
re-roll that one. Forced wound. 4 up saves. 3 more get taken out. Now Inquisitor Draxus will fire her weapon, Dirge Singer. 3s to hit cost Chronomancer with the re-roll. Okay, they all hit.
Now this is going to wound you on 4s, but they're devastating when they wound.
Okay.
So 4s.
4s will just kill them.
3 dead.
3 more.
This is 2 damage as well.
Dude, you need 12. So I'm going to spend a CP on Protocol.
Sorry, I have a shotgun as well.
There's a shotgun on the Sarge, of course.
Hits.
Both of them hit. And
2 wounds.
That was 1 wound. AP dash. Okay. And now I'm going to spend that CP on Protocol of the Undying Legion. So after a shooting thing, I add D3 +1 guys back in. There's 4 more guys back in. So not 12. He didn't take out 12, he took out 8. Mind you, I'm not sure how much that's going to help me because now the Terminators are going to unleash everything. Except for the Reaper autocannon, which is going to try and blink the last 2 wounds off of the Doomsday Arc because it has got devastating wounds. Reaper autocannon.
Yes. Hit on 2s because he stood still.
Nice.
Hits all the times.
Yep.
Strength 7.
5 to
wound.
Yeah, 5 to wound, 6s a dev.
No 6s.
Any 5s?
No.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
And then all the combi bolters into the warriors.
Yeah.
Then we fire the remainder of the Terminator firepower. There's 8 warriors left with that Chronomancer there. Those warriors are in deep trouble. The last thing left to fire. To Dreadnought.
Yes.
What we doing with the Dreadnought?
Everything.
Into the Doomsday.
I'm hoping some devastating wounds can get through, or if I'm lucky, the missile launcher with cracked missiles.
First time you haven't shot at the warriors.
Yes.
Okay.
2s to hit because he stood still.
Okay. These are the crack missiles.
The crack missiles. Strength 9, toughness 9.
Yes.
4s. 2
Both wound.
Invuln.
2 4 up and vulnerable saves.
There you go.
Thank you. And make 1 fair one.
He's got 2 wounds left.
Yeah, if you roll a 1, you don't kill it. You do kill it. That's a 2. You kill it. It doesn't deadly demise. It is just wrecked. So the Doomsday Arc is finally gone. The Annihilation Barge is gone. That is the end of the shooting phase for the forces of the Imperium. Then the Death Watch go charging into that warrior squad in the backfield, not joined in by the Terminators, because the Terminators and the Dreadnought have been ordered to secure no man's land. And of course, Cantor comes in on his own to try and one-shot this Annihilation Barge.
With his once per game +1 attack, he has 6 attacks.
Nice.
He hits on 2s.
Okay. That's 5 hits.
That's 5. He will wound on 4s. I need to check the strength of his weapon.
4 up and vulnerable saves. And they're 3 damage a time.
Yes.
So even if I CP reroll that, that's 6 damage. It's on 5 remaining. He one-shots an Annihilation Barge. And it doesn't deadly demise. Cantor, what a hero. That's also pushed me off of every single objective. The Xenos hold 0. Come back to the middle, to the fight in the middle.
Yes. We just realised that Inquisitor Draxus also has a pretty cool looking psychic attack.
Okay.
So Winters has been very kind and just let me try it.
Okay.
I don't really care if it does anything, I just want to see what it does.
Psychic attack.
So she hits on 3s with the minuses.
Okay. And you got full rerolls because she's part of, or is it just Death Watch?
Well, when you're attached to a unit, you get their bonuses, don't you? So, sustained hits 2. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So 7 hits come through.
Strength 6 is 3s.
Sustained hits 2, much more than 7. AP dash though, so her psychic ability melts the minds, the unyielding minds of 3 more warriors. So at the start of the combat, it looks like this. Who we start off with?
We'll start with the Inquisitor.
Draxus, right?
So she has 3 attacks.
Yes.
She hits on 4s, well, 3s to 4s to 3s again.
Okay. Rerolling everything.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're remembering. Strength 6 is 3s.
Okay.
So that's 2 wounds minus 2.
6s. One of them's dead. 6 attacks with every Thunderhammer sitting on 4s.
With a reroll.
Yes. 6 of them hit.
Strength 10. 2s. And 6s are devastating.
One's dead to the devastating wound, and
Wow.
at -2, 2 of them still survive. Now the black shield with the blades. 4
Threes.
attacks. Re-rolling.
And then strength 5 is 3s, but it's twin linked.
AP.
-2.
Okay, need 6s again. That's all the warriors dead. We're on to the Chronomancer. And here's the remaining Death Watch on 3s. Re-rolling everything. And then 4s. And the Chronomancer needs to make 9 4-up saves. And he's gone. And that's the end of turn 3 for the Imperium. The Death Watch have completely overrun the Xenos lines and got behind enemy lines. And the Terminators and this Dreadnought down here has secured no man's land. In fact, I've got Annihilation Barge, I've got a unit of Immortals and 2 big destroyers down there, and another unit of Immortals in Strategic Reserve, and that's it. But I'm not going to be picking up any points for the primaries. So it's 44-22 for the Imperium right now. They're double in the lead. There's still a long way to go, and there's a possibility to do that secret mission thing, potentially. And I need to engage on all fronts. I can do that. And no prisoners, kill stuff. I can do that. I can do that. At the end of the movement phase, I'm engaging on 3 of the fronts for a couple of CP. And you were on 5 objectives. And because I've moved the Immortals here, I'm OCing Pedro off of that one. And we're both OC over here, so you don't... So it's just the 3 in the middle. 3 down here. And I can't get anywhere near the ones with the Terminators on or the kill team on. But what I can do is kill this assassin. He's got lone operative, but we've come in from strategic reserve. Put loads of shots into him. Kill the assassin. Stop Salt and scoring all the points.
Stinky finger.
I'm definitely going to start with the stinky finger. This Dreadnought can get back up again if I kill it as well.
Never want to roll the 2 up.
You never want to roll the 2 up, but that's the thing. Okay, so let's just try and kill some stuff. We'll start with the stinky finger. We'll start with living lightning pointing at him, and he takes a mortal wound.
Okay.
Then I'm spending the CP to re-roll all the hits again. The Plasmancer, because he's got stealth, is going to be hitting you on 4s.
Just evens him out, yeah.
And he hits all of the times, and it's strength 7.
Was that not lethal?
No. That's just 2 at -3 there.
4 up invulns.
Okay.
Makes him.
He's okay. Now I'm going to have to do all the Immortals. +1 with the Plasmancer, -1 with his stealthy thing. So 3s to hit, re-rolling everything. 5s and 6s are lethal. Here's the re-roll. 7 so far, then 3s to wound, re-rolling all fair wounds because you're in range of an objective marker. That many. 13, 4 up and vulnerable saves.
I believe in the Emperor.
Yeah, it doesn't help you. He's gone. Right, after that character's been taken out, we're going to come with Immortal Squad number 2, and these are all hitting on 2s and re-rolling all wounds. Plus I have another stinky finger, all into Pedro Cantor. And I fired everything at him, and Cantor's still on 2 wounds remaining.
He's good.
Close combat Immortals for the win. We're going to have to go charging in
Surprisingly good at close combat.
there. Let's fire these 2 dudes up at your flyer over there.
Yeah. I'm going to pop smoke to get the benefit of cover.
Okay, 3s to hit you. A miss both times.
You made me waste a command point.
Thank you. And then we're going to come over here to the Annihilation Barge, and the only thing it can really shoot at... I mean, I could put shots into Terminators, but they're going to get lots of saves. This thing, I mean, they're not really going to hurt each other in close combat because you've got 2 guns, I've got
Give you a little
guns.
kick. That's probably about it.
So let's shoot Terminators. Here is the Gauss cannon, and those are lethal, and that one doesn't wound.
2 up saves, right?
Yes.
Make 1, fail 1.
That's 2 damage, and
Kills
one was
the guy
on
with
2
the Reaper.
wounds. So the Reaper autocannon is gone. Remaining shots with the Tesla thing, so that sustained 2 and sustained 2. These wound on 3s, and they're twin linked, and that is 7 wounds. And it's 2 damage a time.
Ooh.
That kills another, and then on a 5? No, electricity would have done mortal wounds to them. There's only a couple remaining. There's a battle shock test at least. Maybe they'll run away off of that objective. Maybe they won't control it. Anyway, that's
Banner will make sure they still control it.
That's true. That's the end of my shooting phase. We're going to charge with Immortals into Pedro Cantor, and we go 6. So we go bundling in there. Spending a CP on Protocol of the Hungry Void gets me an extra strength and AP. And I'm hitting on 2s because I'm been led by Plasmancer. Close combat Immortals for the win. So 3s to wound. Then after the reroll, because you're in range of an objective, that's 16 wounds. More than I did with shooting. And these are -1.
3 up saves.
Yeah. Finally, he falls.
Well, he's got 6 up shrugs.
Has he?
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't fall.
There's as many.
Many 6 up shrugs. No, finally. To be honest, they shouldn't really be better in close combat.
It was strange, yeah. I mean, Pedro should have been dead before now, realistically.
That's the other thing I was thinking. Pedro should have been.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
he has a Crimson Fist. He's pretty stubborn.
I've taken that objective. We've taken that objective, which means you can only be on 2 objectives.
3.
And
Well, yeah.
that one, even if you fail your battle shock, you still count as an OC higher because you've got a banner stood there.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of points for no prisoners because I killed 2 units. And I am in 1, 2, 3 objectives, 3 corners of the battle grid for engage on all fronts. So I'll add up all the points. The other thing I'm going to do, Sultan, is go away and have a look at the secret missions.
Ooh.
Now, I'm not sure I can score any of those secret missions, but I've only scored 5 on the primary, so I've drawn 1 anyway, just in case. It means my primary will cap out at 20 points, but, just in case, if I can do it. And Sultan's on 54 points to my 28, but we're both running out of units. He can't defend his stronghold right now, because I got rid of the Vindicare. And Mark for Death, I've got to select 3 units, and if he kills them, he gets points. So I've selected the Immortals and the Annihilation Barge. If he kills any of them, he'll get 5 points. And at the end of the movement surveys, the Deathwatch kill team are just chilling by the home objective over here. They've got nothing to do, no one they can really hurt right now. The Corvus Blackstar zipped over the head because he wants to drop some bombs down on those Immortals, who are the Oath of Moment target. The big tank moves around the middle. Terminators hold the centre, and Contemptor Dreadnought is contesting this objective on the right with the Annihilation Barge. It's been a murder fest. The Imperium have literally only got 5 units left, and I've got 4. Now let's go on to the shooting phase. No, 1 minute. Bombs phase. Bombs from the skies into Immortals, and on 5s you blow them up. 3 of them. So what's the Corvus doing? Putting everything into them?
Putting everything in,
Yeah, they are the Oath of Moment target, and if you kill them you get 5 points.
Well, this doesn't get to reroll.
Oh no, it doesn't, does
Because
it?
they forgot to be Space Marine.
Yeah, that's kind of misses. Okay.
2 missile launchers.
Right.
Hits. Strength 10 is 2s. 1 wound.
I'll take a bit of cover on the other side of the wall. That doesn't help me. 12 Hurricane Bolt shots.
Yep.
3s. And 5s, but twin linked. So re-rolling the wound, and no wound so far, and
1 wound.
1 wound, 1 3-up save. Another one dies. Because every single one of my models is key right now, I'm going to spend the CP on put some more dudes back in. D3 plus 1 essentially. For 3 back in. After putting a couple back in, the Terminators looked over their shoulder and nuked one of them. So how many have we got there? 5, 6, 7 left. Holding down that objective. We're on to Repulsor Executioner.
Guess what I'm doing?
What?
Sustained hits.
Okay.
It's for all the small arms.
Okay, spending the CP on the things.
Yeah.
Firing at all the Immortals.
So we're hit. This is the twin linked stubber on the back.
Okay. And 5s are sustained.
Well, only if I stood still.
Oh, right, so 6s are sustained.
So those go back in.
Yes.
And then we're wounding on
5s? Because toughness 5.
Yeah, 5, but this one's twin linked.
Okay, so that's 1 wound so far. 2 wounds. I'm okay. Baby Stubber came in, did nothing. Here's the Repulsor Defensive Array on 3s. And then 6s are sustained.
Yep.
And then it's the 5s to wound that's the tricky part, because Immortals are quite tough.
Yeah.
2 more wounds. I'm good. Bolter of the Heavy Variety. 1 hit. No
Twin
wounds. Okay, it does wound. -1. You take 1 out, finally.
Hey.
And
Icarus
then...
rocket pod.
Yes.
2 shots.
Yes.
Hits on
that.
Wounds on 3s.
3s. Then -1. That's 3 so far. Now the Onslaught Gatling Cannon. 3s to hit. 6s explode, which is good because you rolled lots of 1s and 2s. And then Strength 5 versus Toughness 5, or is it Strength 6? Yeah, that's the one.
3s and 6s are devastating.
Ooh. So 2 die. 4 of them need to make 3-up saves. That's just 2 gone in total. And then the nasty Strength Bajillion Gun of Doom hits twice and 1 sustained.
2s.
Kills 1. So there's still 4 Immortals hanging in down here with the Plasmancer. Then we rounded out the shooting phase. Contemptor Dreadnought pumped everything into the Annihilation Barge. It's down to 3 wounds remaining. And then the kill team in the backfield could draw some line of sight through down into the heavy destroyers and put one down to 2 wounds remaining. But you haven't killed any of your marked for death targets. And you're not defending the stronghold down here. You can't defend the stronghold. That's the end of the shooting phase, so no secondary scored. You're talking about charging?
Yeah, I might be able to kick some wounds off, or at least force you to battle shock and take the thing.
Contemptor Dreadnought charging Annihilation. You're in. And no CP for tank shock. Ooh, 6 attacks.
Hits on 3s.
Yes. That's 4 hits.
Wounds on 5s. Because your toughness 8.
2 wounds. It's going to live. It's okay. Yep, we did some bumping, no wounds caused. That is the end of turn 4 for the forces of the Imperium. They pick up 0 points, except for the 10 on the primaries that they got at the start of the turn. And I'm going to pick up 5 points on the primaries for being on this objective down here, because I can still score my primaries up to a maximum of 20 as we go into Xenos, turn 4. So it's 33-54 for the Imperium, and I need to do a bunch of actions. Cleanse or recover assets, and I've got so few units left I can either do one or other, not both. And this is the very end of my turn. I reanimated a few wounds on these units here, and all 3 of those units are trying to recover assets, so they're not shooting or doing anything. And if they're still there at the end of Sultan's turn, I'll pick up 6 points for that. Meanwhile, over down this side of the battle grid, my Annihilation Barge failed its battle shock test. And then shot everything at the Dreadnought. Took a wound off the Dreadnought with a mortal wound. And because it failed its battle shock test, I'm not hurting it anymore. And then we fought each other. No wounds caused. But you are going to pick up 5, 10, 15 points on the primary. Because you're going to be in control of all 3 of those objectives in turn 5. So in turn 5, that'll make it 69 to the Imperium, only 33 for the Xenos. And they want to sabotage an objective and sabotage a terrain piece. And mark for death is still in effect. Then at the end of Sultan's turn, that unit back there are entirely wiped out. They were the oath of moment target. The Corvus Blackstar flew over the top and bombed the crap out of them. And then all the other shots came in and annihilated them. Except for a cheeky las cannon. And the shots from the Contemptor Dreadnought into the Battleshock Annihilation Barge. And has wiped that out as well. So it does mean you get your marked for death target. I'm going to pick up a couple of points. 3 points in fact, for recovering assets in these 2 zones. And I'm going to pick up 5 points for being on that objective there. That gives us a final score of 41 points to the Necrons and 69 points, which is a great number. for the forces of the Imperium. Secret thing I went for is Unbroken Wall. I had to control 3 objectives outside of my deployment zone. I didn't think I could do it. I'd have to jump onto one of these objectives here and not die to all the other shots. But in the end, it is a victory for the Xenos Hunters, for the Inquisitor, and for the Imperium. And this is the way the world ends. I've seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I have.
69, dude. And I got 41. That was good.
That was good.
What went on there?
I think I got some really lucky shooting in turn 1. That 20 damage cannon.
Yes.
It's not supposed to do 20 damage.
Yes.
So yeah, I got really lucky with just how this particular Crimson Fist thing did.
Yes.
And I think that swung it because that was such a point sink.
That was like a quarter of my army dead in turn 1.
Yeah. Likewise, I mean, both are big stompy things because my Knight is more expensive than your Tesseract Vault.
Yeah.
And the Knight didn't do anything either.
No,
really.
it didn't do very much.
But yeah, I think that was the turning point with the Deathwatch Deep Struck, like jumped out of the transport.
Zooming in, kill everything here. There were 40 warriors here, and in 2 turns with -1 to hit with the thing. And honestly, it wasn't too much of a struggle for you to get rid of 40 warriors. And I'm never bringing the Tesseract to Vault again, ever. I think it's been on the channel like 5 times and in the members thing, and it just dies. It's just such a big target, and people are like, I want to kill it.
Yeah, but at least it's not doing the thing where the Knight shows up and it does survive, but then it still doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's a pretty model though. They're both very pretty models.
Yes, which is why we wanted to bring both of them.
Okay, so Imperial Agents Codex is the best thing ever. You've already spent some money.
Yeah, well, I don't know about the Codex, but surely like adding cool, flavourful units to other Imperial armies is always a good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went not full extreme, I could have gone more extreme, but I went pretty extreme today by bringing the max amount of characters and retinue I could bring for a 2,000 point game, and then an ally.
Yeah.
And then I could have also brought a Sisters of Battle squad or a Grey Knight squad.
Yeah.
Which in future I probably will do.
It occurs to me that whenever I fight you, I need to up my game. I need to bring tougher lists. You know what you're doing.
Not really.
You're a scalpel. You're in, you're cutting, you're precision. You're a surgeon's consultant. You picked me apart bit by bit, and all I've got left are these things over here.
Oath of Moment helps.
Oath of Moment does help. It's nice to see different models on the table, though, like the big Stompy Knight of Doom and Pedro Cantor and a Contemptor Dreadnought and a Kill Team and things like that. And are you coming to this Tuesday's live stream where we are going to talk about
the
Imperial Agents Codex?
Lots of thoughts, and they are varied.
Yes.
But yeah, this was fun. I genuinely thought, I told you like a week ago, I said, this is what I'm bringing.
Yeah.
I think it's really stupid, and then we played it, and it wasn't that stupid.
I
never really looked at the data sheets beforehand in the new Imperial Agents book, but the Death Watch Kill Team, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Their data sheets is strong.
It's curious though. You say it's really. If I had first turn there, I had some anti-tank stuff that could have really taken out a knight or taken one of your things because we brought such a specific. It could have been different. If you had second turn.
If I hadn't used Crimson Fists, it could have been different.
Yeah.
Because I got 4 shots with a 2-shot gun, you know?
Well, every unit that you lost, like if you lose that, if you lose that, if you lose the knight, it hurts you with such a unique, such a elite heavy force. You don't want to be losing any units at all. But in the end, you're still getting off the battle grid. Inquisitor Draxus has managed to take out her targets and drive the Shattered Legion back.
Yes.
We do hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.
Bye-bye.